Yogananda and his perspective on the wisdom of living and dying. I was just asking Ann, when did I get involved with Yogananda? It was about 30 years ago. Long time, guys. I went down to California and stayed at the ashrams that he had in the mountains there with where we grew hibiscus flowers. And to keep the place going, we sold the hibiscus flowers. We worked at it, and we'd eat vegetables, and we'd do energization exercises and meditations, and we would be together with affirmations and whatever. We just did all those things. Yogananda was marked to become a saint when he was born in 1893. And I had wished that he had lived a little longer. He died in 1955, and I was still in high school, and I never did get a chance to go down and see him at that time. If he'd have stayed around a little longer, I would have gone down to California and met him. So I've never did meet him in life, but that's okay. I learned about him through reading Autobiography of a Yogi. And that is a book that I really can recommend. It has been issued in nearly every language you want to name in the world that I know, and it's been around. Yeah, Autobiography of a Yogi is a wonderful book. It tells the whole story of all the yogis that he met and all the miracles that he saw in his own life and how he developed into becoming a yogi himself. And how, let me go back right to his childhood to show you how he was earmarked that way. As a child, he was stricken with cholera. In those days, you would die from cholera. It was a serious disease, and they didn't have any way to treat it. But his mother asked him to bow and mentally in front of a picture of Lahiri Mahashaya, one of the saints in the lineage that he is from, that Yogananda is from. And he was healed instantly. Yogananda later had a vision shortly after that, and it was a vision of all of these saints in this lineage. And he asked, "Who are you?" And they said, "We are the Himalayan yogis." He also had a vision of God about that time. And the vision said, "I am Ishwara," meaning light. So all these kinds of miracles were happening to this little kid. As a child, when playing with his sister in India, they used to play a game where they would fly kites that had sort of little shards on the side of the strings, like glass, that would cut the other person's kite. And then you'd have to try to see where it landed, and the winner would be the person that had their kite closer to them or could do things. Well, Yogananda could have the kites come right to him. He had this, it didn't matter where he cut them, they came right and dropped down right beside him. It was uncanny. When his mother was dying, he received a vision of her. Later, during his sadness over his mother's death, the loss of his mother, he received another vision of Divine Mother. And in India, they saw the divine as Divine Mother and God as a male figure as well. And Divine Mother said, "It is I who have watched over you life after life, in the tenderness of many mothers, to make him feel better. Once when his mother took the baby to Lahiri Mayashaya, Lahiri picked up the child and held it, and he said, "Little mother, your son will be a great yogi." And he made that proclamation. And so it came out. As a spiritual engine, he said, he will carry many souls to God's kingdom. His mother also said, "My son, your vision of the great light was known to me and your sister. We would watch you from the other room. And there was your little body, and your little face was illuminated. And your voice would ring out with iron resolve. You spoke of going to the Himalayas in quest of the divine, even at that young age. He came from his past lifetime wanting to go back to the Himalayas where he had been a saint before. While visiting Lahiri Mayashaya, this is another incident. He said to Yogananda's mother, Lahiri said this, "A talisman, a silver amulet, will materialize in your hands. On your deathbed, you must instruct your eldest son to keep the talisman ampule for 1 year, and then hand it over to your second son, and the meaning will be known to him. When it has served its purpose, it will simply disappear." And all these miracles did take place. Yogananda said he later said the ampule came from teachers of past lives. They were guiding my steps. And the last thing I'm going to say about him as becoming a saint was when he died, his body was incorruptible. He had they put nothing in the body to preserve it, just put it under glass. And it stayed like that, and this was all registered and signed by the people that took care of bodies, that this has happened. There was no desiccation of his body, no fungus grew on it. It just stayed like that for a whole month. He's not the only one. There's records of that in the West too, of saints that were incorruptible. So, with that as a background, let me tell you about Yogananda and death and dying. The reason I want to talk about this is because we're on a spiritual journey, all of us. We have been for some time. And I've been giving talks about the spiritual journey. And this is another one. We've got to be tuned in to dying so that we can be tuned in to living. And they go together. And you can't be afraid of dying. So I don't think this audience really, I should worry about it too much. Probably most of you aren't. But if you are, that's what this talk is all about. The ordinary man looks upon death with dread and sadness. Those who have gone before knew that death was a wonderful experience. People think, I'm leaving my loved one, I will never see them again. Not true. Friends think, I'm losing him. Will they remember me? Yes, they will meet, you will meet again. He lost his mother when he was 11 years old, Yogananda did. And he stormed the gates of heaven with his youthful spirit. And he wasn't versed in these things at that time when he was just a child. And it really bothered him when his mother died. He loved her so much. So now, he says this. Here's what happens. After death, we forget all the limitations of the physical body and realize how free we are. As soon as we die, we have that wonderful feeling of freedom. There is a moment, a sense where there's a sense of fear because it's something new, but that passes right away. After that comes great realization, a great realization. The soul feels joy, a sense of relief and freedom from the mortal body. Think about it. We don't feel miserable at the prospect of losing consciousness of our body when we go to sleep. It's the same thing. We accept sleep as a state of freedom to look forward to. There is nothing to fear, and there is nothing to fear in death. When death comes, we can laugh at it because death is an opportunity to understand a great lesson. What is that lesson? Well, it's simply, we cannot die. We've been given the gift of immortality. Consciousness never dies. Nothing can terminate eternal consciousness. This change called death cannot destroy the spiritual essence. Actually, death is a great misnomer because there is no death. When we are tired of life, we simply take off the overcoat of flesh and go back to the astral world. And if you don't get around to doing that at the right time, then karma will take over and determining our present body and environment have served their purpose. We're too exhausted by suffering to bear the burden of physical existence any longer. We are then given the temporary emancipation, and we awaken into peace and calmness in death. For everyone, it is a welcome rest. Now, no fire can burn you, no water can drown you. We are free and we are safe. There is a sense of soaring through a tunnel. When you die, then the soul drifts into a state of oblivious sleep. Everything varies with everybody a little bit. It's not always the same, but that's by and large the experience that people have. Jesus said, "My Father's house has many mansions." Maybe that's what he meant. Yes, there is a heaven. Those who love God and trust him go directly to the astral plane. In the astral plane, one has the power to materialize anything immediately. Isn't that fun, eh? Anything you want, just there it is. Just like that amulet, boom. Colors and sounds exist that Earth doesn't know anything about. It is beautiful and enjoyable. I can't describe it to you, I'm just going to try. It is a transfer to a world of pure joy, multicolored lights. The astral world is beautiful, it is clean, pure and orderly. There's no bacteria, no weeds, no insects. It maintains eternal spring. Astral planets abound with opal lakes and bright seas and rainbow rivers. All things are mutually helpful. Not like here on Earth. All forms of vibration function in harmony with one another. It's a beautiful place to be. All forces live in peace. They breathe not oxygen, but the joy of spirit. Friends from the past lives recognize each other. They realize that love is eternal. It goes on and on. Why do we cry when dear ones die? Because we sorrow for our loss. We should rejoice. We may keep the dying earthbound or hampered in their progress by too much sorrow at their deathbed. I don't know if you've ever thought of that, but it's okay to cry with joy, but don't be too sorrowful. Don't hold them back. I've talked to people that take care of dead people and dying people, and they usually, a lot of them wait until the middle of the night where everybody goes, and then they slip away. They die then. Death automatically dismisses all bodily pain, just as sleep clears the weariness and aches of our body. We will be free in the astral heaven, unhindered by physical limitations. On earth, we don't know what's going to come, and we worry. No more, not when you're dead. When one dies, instead of grieving, realize that they've gone to a higher plane in a world with God. God knows what is best for us. Rejoice in the freedom. Pray for your loved ones. Pray for your loved ones. This will be a message that encourages them to go forward in their journey. It's interesting, isn't it? That we should want to pray for the loved ones on the other side. Yeah. Extreme sorrow prevents the departure of the soul. I've said that. And to go ahead in peace and freedom. If we want to contact someone who has died, there's a way. Yogananda says, sit quietly in your room and meditate upon God. When you feel His peace within you, concentrate deeply right here, as Craig was saying, right at the spiritual center, the spiritual eye, right here. Concentrate there and broadcast your love to those dear ones who have gone. Visualize at the Christ Center, that's what it's called, this person you wish to contact. Send to that soul your vibration of love and encouragement. If you do this continuously, and if you don't lose the intensity of your intent, the soul will definitely receive the vibration, Yogananda says. Such thoughts give your loved ones a sense of well-being and a sense of being loved. See, love goes on. We should do it here, and it goes on in the other side. Love goes on forever. Send your thoughts of love and goodwill to your loved ones as often as you feel inclined to, perhaps on special anniversaries. Mentally tell them we will meet them again sometime and continue to develop divine love and friendship with one another. Send them loving thoughts now. Someday you will meet them again. We will know that this life is not the end, but merely one link in the eternal chain of which the relationship with your loved ones exists. Well, I thank you for listening. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to prepare this, because when it does, it teaches me so much, and it gives me a better feeling. And I'm enjoying it for myself, but I want to do it for you too. Thank you.